At this time, I will call to order the Stillwater Utilities Authority meeting for June 3rd, 2024. On the consent docket, trustees, items that you wish to remove or action on the consent docket.
Please pull item B.
Item B, pulled from the consent docket. Further comments, questions, or action on the remaining items?
Motion to approve consent docket minus item B.
Second.
With a motion and a second to approve the consent docket minus item B, please vote. With a vote of 5-0, those items are approved. Items removed from the consent docket. Item B, approved Blue Peak pole attachment agreement.
Good evening, trustees. Lauren Smith, Electric Utility Director. I understand that there might have been a question.
There might have been.
Yeah. Be happy to answer that if I can.
So the primary question was, I keep seeing more and more wires and cables on our poor little utility poles. Does that pose a risk for us in the event of wind, ice, storms, whatever?
So there's lots of variables there,
Okay.
but I'll start with a few. It probably doesn't help, but it probably doesn't hurt to the detriment of, we would say that was the root cause of the pole failure, right? Above, all the pole attachments are typically about midway on the pole, and at the top of the pole is where all the weight is being carried, where you have the transformers and wires and cross arms and such like that, and the pole at the top is skinnier, right? They get thicker as they go down to the base. And so as part of the application process, the applicant has to have an engineer go out and study the poles and make sure that there's room for loading of the infrastructure they're going to put on our poles. Okay. And so that's really taken care of there, and it does look like a lot, but a lot of things could happen. You say wind, you add ice and wind, it could add, but typically what we see is tree limbs and tree branches falling into our infrastructure, taking it down, rather than the causes of the lower lying pole attachments.
Okay. And the follow-up question was, is our fee that we're charging for these pole attachments, is it an adequate fee?
You bet. So we really got ahead of the curve back in 2018. There was a law passed, Senate Bill 1388, that basically set the not to exceed prices for pole attachments and application fees and all those things. And so we adopted those numbers, those amounts, as well as we took the APPA pole attachment agreement template that they had, and we modified it to fit our system and included those numbers in it. So, I would say that we're well ahead of the curve, more so than maybe other municipalities, because we went through that effort back then.
And you gave me some numbers about what that amounts to over the course of a year.
Yeah, so we're really seeing a good revenue stream here. That the idea is to recover the cost to replace the poles, to help offset the cost to replace the poles. And, we're bouncing up against $100,000 annually from Blue Peak. And so we're excited about that. That's, around 140 poles perhaps a year that we could replace if they fail. So,
thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Trustee Harden, do you have a motion on the item?
I do. Motion to approve item B from the consent docket.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further questions, comments? Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, item B from the consent docket is approved. Nothing further on the agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn SUA?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the Stillwater Utilities Authority. Please vote. With a vote of 5-0, Stillwater Utilities Authority is now adjourned, and that concludes our meetings for the evening.